Even though I didn't mind eating alone, I didn't want others to think I was a loner when everyone else was happily eating lunch with their friends. That's why, even though I didn't care if others misunderstood, I ate my lunch together with my junior high classmate, Kunikida, and an East Junior High graduate named Taniguchi who sat close to me. We started to talk about Haruhi.
Did you try to talk to Suzumiya?
I nodded.
And then she said some weird stuff and you didn't know how to react?
That's right.
If that girl is interested in you, she wouldn't say weird stuff like that. All I can advise you is to give up. You should know by now that she's not normal. I was in her class 3 years in a row. I know how she is.
He used this line to begin his speech.
She always does incredibly baffling things. I thought she would at least try to control herself after she got into senior high. Apparently she hasn't. You heard her introduction speech, right?
You mean the alien stuff?
Kunikida, who was busy picking bones out of his fried fish, had butted in.
Yeah, that. Even back in junior high, she always said and did lots of weird stuff. For example, there was this school vandalization incident.
What happened?
You know that one tool where you use plaster dust to draw field lines, right? What's it called? Anyway, she snuck into school at night and with that thing drew a huge symbol in the middle of the field.
Taniguchi had a mischievous smile on his face. He was probably remembering the incident.
It was so shocking. I went to school early that morning and all I saw were big circles and triangles. I couldn't figure out what they were supposed to be. So I went up to the 4th floor to get a bird's eye view. That didn't help. I still don't know what that symbol was.
Ah, I think I saw that before. Didn't the newspaper have a story in it? It even had a helicopter view of it. The symbol looked like a broken Nazca pictogram.
I don't remember hearing anything about that before.
I saw the article. I saw it. The headline was something like, Mystery Vandal Strikes Junior High at Night, right? Well, care to guess who pulled that stunt?
Don't tell me it's her.
She admitted it herself. There's no mistaking it. Naturally, she got called into the principal's office. Every teacher was there, questioning her on why she did it.
Why did she do it then?
I don't know. I heard she refused to say anything. Of course, when you're getting glared at by her, you tend to give up on whatever you're planning. Someone said she drew the symbol to call out to UFOs. Others said it was a magic symbol and was used in summoning monsters. Or that she was trying to open a portal to different worlds, etc., etc. There were many speculations, but as long as the perpetrator refuses to talk, we may never know if those rumors are true or not. To this day, it's still a mystery.
For some reason, the picture of Haruhi with her no-nonsense look, busy laying the lines in the middle of the school field at night, floated into my mind. She definitely prepared the drawing tools and limestone powders beforehand in the storage room. Maybe she even bought a flashlight. Under its dim yellow light, Suzumiya Haruhi looked very sober and tragic. Okay, this was just my imagination, but truth be told, Haruhi was probably really doing it to summon UFOs or monsters or even a dimensional portal. She probably worked on it the whole night in the field, but nothing showed up, and all she was left with was that beat down feeling.
And that's not the only thing she did.
Taniguchi continued to finish his lunch.
Once, I came to the classroom in the morning and discovered that all the desks were moved out into the corridor, or that there were printed stars on the school roof. Another time, she was going around the school, food all over the place. You know, those Chinese ones where you put the paper talisman on a vampire's forehead? Yeah, I just can't understand her.
That's right, Suzumiya Haruhi wasn't inside the classroom right then, or else we probably wouldn't have had this conversation. But then again, even if she did hear us, she probably wouldn't have cared. Usually, Haruhi left the classroom immediately after 4th period, then came back right after 5th. She didn't carry a lunchbox, so I had assumed that she went to the cafeteria to enjoy her lunch. But it doesn't take the whole hour to eat lunch, does it? Furthermore, at the end of every period, she disappeared. Where did she go, anyway?
But she is very popular with the guys. She's cute, athletic, and smart. Even though she's peculiar, if she keeps her mouth shut, she's actually not bad.
Where did you learn all this gossip?
Kunikida's lunchbox was twice as full as Taniguchi's.
There was this period of time where she switched boyfriends non-stop. From what I heard, the longest relationship lasted a week. The shortest one ended 5 minutes after the confession. In addition, the only reason Suzumiya gave for dumping her boyfriends was, I don't have time to socialize with normal humans.
Taniguchi seemed to be speaking from experience. After he noticed my stare, he became a bit flustered.
I heard this from other people, honest. For some reason, she wouldn't turn down a confession. By the 3rd year, everyone understood, so no one wanted to confess to her anymore. I have a funny feeling that history will repeat itself in senior high. So I'm warning you now, give up. This is coming from someone who is in the same class as her.
Say whatever you want. I wasn't interested in her that way. Taniguchi put his empty lunchbox back into his bag and let out a sinister giggle.
If I had to choose one, I would choose her, Asakura Ryoko.
Taniguchi nodded his chin towards a group of girls a few desks away. In the middle of the conversing group, with a rosy smile on her face, was Asakura Ryoko.
Judging from my analysis, she definitely enters the top 3 cutest first-year girls list.
You have every single first-year girl in the school checked out?
I group girls into A to D categories, and believe me, I only remember the names of the A girls. You only get to go through high school life once. I want mine to be as happy as possible.
Then that Asakura Ryoko is an A then?
She is double A+. Come on, just look at her face. Her personality must be first class.
Even ignoring Taniguchi's egotistic comments, Asakura Ryoko was quite a different kind of cute girl than Suzumiya Haruhi was. First of all, she was very pretty. Plus, she always let off a smile-like caring impression. Second, her personality did seem to match Taniguchi's description. These days, no one dared to talk to Suzumiya Haruhi anymore, except for Asakura Ryoko. No matter how harsh Haruhi was, Asakura Ryoko still tried to talk to her from time to time. She was so passionate that she almost acted like the class monitor. Third, from the way she answered the teacher's questions in class alone, you could see that she was very smart. She always answered the questions correctly. In the eyes of the teachers, she was probably a model student. To top it off, she was extremely popular with the girls. The term had only been going a week, and she was already well on her way to being the center of the female students in the class. It was as though she had fallen from the sky and had been born with extreme attraction in mind. Compared to the often scowling, science fiction-obsessed Haruhi, the choice was obvious. Then again, these two candidates were both probably too high up the hill for our hero Taniguchi to climb. No way was he going to get either of them. It was still April then, and at that time, Suzumiya was actually behaving quite nicely. To me, this was quite a relaxing month. At the very least, there would be a month to go before Haruhi started going astray. But even during this time, I'd observed some of Haruhi's eccentricities. Why would I say that? Clue number 1. She changed her hairstyle every day. Furthermore, judging from my observation, there was some sort of pattern going on. On Monday, Haruhi would come to school with her long hair down, without tying it up whatsoever. On the next day, she would tie it up in a ponytail. As much as I hate to admit it, that hairstyle did look good on her. Then, she would tie it up into 2 ponytails on the next day, and 3 the day after. By Friday, she would have 4 ribbon-tied ponytails on her head. Her actions were really perplexing. Monday equals 0, Tuesday equals 1, Wednesday equals 2, and so on. As the day of the week increased, so did the number of ponytails. By next Monday, the whole process would start over again. I couldn't see why she was doing it. Following the previous logic, she should have 6 ponytails on Sunday. I suddenly wanted to see her Sunday hairstyle. Clue number 2. For PE, freshman classes 5 and 6 would combine to have PE together, with the boys and girls separated. When we changed clothes, the girls would go to class 5 and the boys would go to class 6, meaning, at the end of the previous period, the guys from our class would have to move to the other room. Unfortunately, Haruhi totally ignored the guys in our class and removed her sailor uniform before the guys had left. It was as if to her, the guys were pumpkins or potato sacks, and she couldn't care less. Without any expression, she would throw her uniform onto the desk and start to get into her sweatshirt. At that moment, Asakura Ryoko would drive the goggle-eyed frozen guys, myself included, out of the classroom. According to rumors, the girls, with Asakura Ryoko as their leader, tried to talk Haruhi out of doing that, but to no avail. Every PE class, Haruhi would ignore the rest of the class and take off her uniform without so much as a glance. And so, we guys were to leave the classroom the second the bell rang, at the request of Asakura Ryoko. But seriously, Haruhi is a great figure. This isn't the time to say that kind of thing, is it? Clue number 3. At the end of every block, Haruhi would go AWOL. When the school bell came rolling around, she would grab her backpack and shoot out of the classroom. Logically, I thought that she went straight home. I would never have thought that she would go and participate in all the clubs in the school. One day, you would see her passing balls in the basketball club, and the next you would see her sewing a pillowcase in the sewing club. By the following day, you would see her waving her stick in hockey club. I think she also joined the baseball club. So basically, she had participated in every sport club in our school. All the clubs tried to persuade her into joining them, of course, but she turned them all down. Her explanation was,
"It's annoying for me to do the same club activity every day."
at the end of the day, she didn't join any clubs. What is this girl trying to pull?